What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Griever back here, your guys' host as always, bringing you guys the latest behind the bar reviews for One Piece. One Piece, chapter 951. We are less than 50 chapters. That means next year we will have chapter 1000 of One Piece at some point. Even with breaks and everything, that's the schedule we're on right now. By next year, chapter 1000 will be out. That's sometime in 2020. That's awesome. Isn't that awesome, guys? I think it's awesome. Do you think it's awesome? It's great. Now, so chapter 951, though, called Rampage. We jump into this. Now, there's a whole Stampede thing going on, and there's a cool, jump cover with, all the main characters. We get Senku and Asta and Deku and all them. They're all wearing, Deku even the main character of My Hero Academia anymore, because I thought it was Shigarashi. Anyways, we see them all wearing different pirate hats with different crossbones and stuff. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool thing. Then we jump over to a double color spread with, the Stampede thing, the Ida Fest. I believe this is celebrating one of those food contest things in Japan called the Stampede or something. Am I right in saying that? Isn't that a reference to something? I could be wrong, but that's what I thought this was about. Stampede being the big Ida Fest, because we see Rob Lucci, we see Smoker and Shiggy, we see Buggy, the warlord, the king of everything, of course, Buggy. We see Sabo and Luffy, and anyway, it just, all of it looks really cool. It's a nice color spread sort of idea. But that being said, after that, once we get over that, I just wanted to reference it because I thought it was a really nice one this week. I really liked it. I don't think I'll use it for the thumbnail, however, like I usually do. If we get a color page or a color spread, I tend to use those for my thumbnails for all the manga series that I follow, as you guys no doubt know if you've been followers of my channel. But this, I think we have something else more important near the end of the chapter. But suffice to say, the beginning of the chapter, honestly, dragged on a bit, kind of boring. All it's basically saying for about the first 5, 6, 7 pages is basically that Tony Yasu's funeral and, his words and what he told the crowd and stuff basically did nothing. The jailhouse is still filled with, according to Sanji and Shinobu, with about 1,000 men who are on their side. That's pretty much it. That's the first, 2, 3, 4 pages is Orochi getting pissed at Fuku, whatever, the leader of the Oniwaban group, and him reporting and saying, well, we got Law, and Law is like the mastermind as much so as Straw Hat Luffy. Remember, they don't know what an idiot Luffy can be. So, but they say, we got Law, though, so with the right amount of torture, we'll get his plans and stuff. Like, right now, we have to let them go. We have men, ninjas, and samurai from this other area. We see some characters. They may be relevant. They may be fodder. They may be mid-class. We don't know. We see them in a panel. They're all surrounding the capital and stuff like that. That's all fine and good. They basically talk about their options. Here's something cool, though. Shinobu and Sanji bring up the Fire Festival and these skyboats and stuff, the thing to mourn the dead. Now, this is something that is very much attuned in Japanese culture. I don't know when they celebrate this necessarily, but I know a little drips and drabs about Japanese culture, and one of the things is these skyboats are the floating lantern equivalent. They're the floating lanterns. They light them up in the sky with a little flame in them. They go up and stuff, and they look very similar, so that's really nice. And it's something that people light as a way of letting go, but passing on, moving forward and stuff. It's their way, you light the thing, you raise it up in the sky, and you mourn for the people that you've lost, either that year or... See, I don't know the logistics of it necessarily, and I didn't feel like just doing a quick Wikipedia search and being like, well, I know all the information. No, I'm just going off verbatim from what I know from memory, and I like that. I like the fact, it makes total sense. The Fire Festival and the whole lighting of the candles for the floating lanterns in the sky to mourn the dead. That's a very general thing. I like that because it's something that's become more and more prevalent, I feel, here in the West, because actually the neighbors at my parents' place, they light the floating lanterns, I think, once a year. So it might be an actual date, like the Fire Festival in Wano. As I said, this is just going off the little tidbits that I know and remember, but I remember seeing a couple of floating lanterns down the street every year. So, I mean, I guess that is a thing. So that's really cool. I like that I like the fact that Oda is taking a lot of traditions and cultural events and impacts and the mythologies, and he is overloading. He is saturating this thing till it's going to burst with so much depth. I feel like Oda, of course, from being from Japan, he loves his country. He loves Japan, and he wants to pour all the rich history and legends and the culture from his country in, like, really dump it into Wano, you know? So I'm getting that from this. I like that. That's all fine and good. Then we jump over to Nami, who seems to be talking to Beppo and the others. Okay, and they're looking a little shaky. They're looking a little shady. Wait a minute, how did they get out? What's the deal here? Now we know that Law was captured at the end of the last chapter, but they're released. What's going on here? Why was Law smirking, you know, at the end of the last chapter? So, questions for later. Now we don't actually have to wait long for this answer because, as I said in the last chapter review, for all 25 of you that actually watched it, note that I was once again right. What is with the W in front of Hawkins' name? There was no fight. There was no fight. He did not fight. He had collateral. He's not stronger. He's not better. He just had the upper hand. That's all it is. All the characters that have gone up against Hawkins have been handicapped for that. So stop with the W. Stop with the walk-ins. He's not Christopher Walken, guys. He's no walk-ins. Get it out of your system. It's not a thing. I'm sorry. He didn't beat Zoro. He hasn't beaten Law. I don't get the walk-ins. I don't. Because right here, honestly, like, Law went up and basically said, give me my crew, and we see Hawkins. He relents. He takes the straw dolls, his voodoo, I have multiple Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog lives, took the 3 and said, look, complete and utter freedom. You guys are all free to go. You have to leave, and Law stays with me, sort of idea. And Law, his only order to his crew is do not, under any circumstances, tell Straw Hat that I've been captured. Do not tell him. Why? Because you know the moment Luffy finds out that Traffy has been captured, where do you think he's going to go? He's going to forget the entire plan, and he's going to go rescue Law. Is that probably going to happen anyways? Maybe, probably. Maybe Kid and Killer will just happen to be looking for the rest of their crew and wind up freeing Law as a result. That might happen. That's interesting. If I'm right about that, I'm calling it now. But yeah, so basically Beppo and the others, and it seems like more of the crew was captured because in one of the panels we see more of Law's crew. So present there and talking about they can't forget him. They need to go find a way to rescue their captain. Like the mission's important, but their captain's more important, blah, blah, blah. They haven't really told Nami or anything because they said, yeah, we managed to escape. Gave the message that was passed around by Yasui before he died with the change to the message, the change on the snake or whatever. So he basically said, here you go. They have Yasui's remains, Yasu's remains. They have the remains. They're going to bury him properly, give him proper burial. They're just like, we're going to head out. We're going to go. Nami, Brooke, Usopp, like everyone's just heading out, sort of idea. In different panels here and there. But yeah, Beppo and the others do not tell Nami or Frankie or anybody about what actually transpired, and we're going to go away from them for a while. Now we get a double widespread with Kinemon and Shutamaru and Frankie, or like just everyone with these ships. They're all kind of beat up, but here's a ship, here's another ship, and as Shutamaru says, like, this is basically our graveyard of ships that Kaido destroyed, but with some fixing up, we could carry thousands and thousands of soldiers on these ships, right? So that's a big thing. That's a really big deal. They have some banter back and forth and such, but for the most part, as I said, this chapter is pretty straightforward. There's a lot of dialogue, and there's some quips and banter back and forth, but in the end, it's like, I like the fact that they're looking for the wanted criminals. They have the posters, and we have like Brooke haunting Robin and Usopp while they make that whole face, you know, as they walk by, so they don't look like they're wanted poster sort of idea. That's funny. That's for comedic effect, right? I like that. So Otoko is still with Robin and stuff, and they make the joke about Brooke. Well, I can hold her for a while and stuff. It's like, yeah, but you're hard and, you know, cold and stuff. And he's like, oh, how mean, oh, ho, 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 yo, ho, 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 you know, sort of idea. And yeah, so, but that's pretty much the bulk of the chapter. I don't think I'm missing anything. Yeah, I don't think the last couple pages really did anything. Yeah, I don't think so, guys. So that was the Behind the Bar reviews for chapter 951. Yeah, so have a good day. All right. I might have been hitting the sauce a little early. Of course, there's more to the chapter, and my humor is so goddamn deadpan. None of you probably stick around for the rest of this review anyway, so I might as well just talk to myself. That being said, Kaido, Big Mom, boom! Clashing here at the end of the chapter. There's just stuff to unpack here. We haven't seen two Yonko clash since Whitebeard and Shanks. Or, I mean, I guess Whitebeard and Blackbeard, but did they really clash? Whitebeard basically stomped him. Whitebeard was already injured, and that's not a clash. That was a stomping. But yeah, we have not seen a Yonko clash with another Yonko for literally years at the very least, regardless whether you consider Blackbeard and Whitebeard a clash or not, like the Shanks Whitebeard stuff. This has been a long time, and it's everything I hoped it would be. The sky splits apart like they think they're in goddamn Toriko making an emperor's ring sort of idea. It's like right across Onigashima. It's just like Whitebeard and Shanks. When two true Yonko clash, the sky split. It's goddamn. So the build up to this is that they're still feeding Big Mom food. Like, regardless, they still need to feed her because they're worried. I guess they might know about the hunger pains because even though she's all shackled up, they still want to feed her. They keep making more sweets to feed her. Queen, King, and Jack are all there. Now, Queen is being chastised for bringing her here in the first place. She said, shut up, like, what was I going to do in Udon all by myself without any support? Like, that was just not going to happen. So she keeps eating and wants to take them off. King's like, oh man, I swear, like I took her out and her ship out, and Queen's like, you shouldn't leave a job half-assed, King. And then here's where we get some interesting stuff. Now, this could be a translation thing because I don't see Twitter blowing up over this, but Big Mom basically looks at King and says, I'll forgive what you did yesterday, King. Come and join me, son. Now, son could be one of those things like, Missy, you know, or how you doing, boy? You know, how you doing, son? You know, you're my son. You know, that kind of stuff. That it could be taken that way. It could be a translation thing because I don't see the internet blowing up over it. Or this could mean that King is the eldest Big Mom child. Step over, Parasparrow. I mean, I'm just saying. It's probably not official. Probably got no reference. It's probably just what I said. It was just one of those endearment terms or one of those things that people talk like, you know, like, how you doing, boy? How you doing, son? Come to order something? Like, I'm not actually your son, but that's what you're saying, right? So that's entirely possible, and I think that's the case. But here's an interesting piece of news, is that, I mean, Prince of Persia came into Big Mom's speech, but the sands of time have washed away. Her island doesn't have 3 races on it. And we know what some of them are, but this one, King, is apparently part of a race that's gone. It's extinct, except for him, as far as they know. King refuses this offer, right, just deadpan right away. But that's what Big Mom is interested in, is collecting King. She's a collector of different races. So what is King? We don't know. Some people are saying he's a Tengu. Some people are saying that he's part of the Skypias, or he's from the moon or something. There's different ideas floating out about there all over Twitter, so go check those out. Me personally, I believe he's from we've had no reference. This is a race we've never seen before and never heard about previously. It might have been on a ponteglyph somewhere that Robin read or something. But until we get the translation of a ponteglyph on that, I'm just going to lean towards the fact that King is a new race that's clearly extinct, other than himself, or maybe one other character, and we've never seen them before. That's what I'm going to believe. Now, she keeps asking to take the cuffs off. They don't let her, and then Kaido shows up and basically says, so you finally came here, Lin Lin. Like, take those cuffs off. take those cops off her, and then this is where they have their big clash, which I already talked about, and it's all boiled down to like, I told you if you came here, Lin, I would kill you. And we get some of the crewmates like just freaking out. We have Queen in the background freaking out like when they clash and stuff, and then like, get us the hell off of Onigashima right now. Some of them are mentioning information we already knew. Like, I heard that Kaido and Big Mom, you know what? They were crewmates one time, you know? And stuff like that. Of course, they would not know what we, the readers and viewers, know, but they're basically rehashing some of that, and it's just basically an exchange of words and no other information really brought up to light. And then the clash, as I said, the big splitting of the sky, Emperor's Ring callback to Toriko, it feels like. And yeah, that's the chapter. And from what I can tell, no break next week. I looked through it twice. I didn't see it. Could be there and I missed it, but no break next week. Now, of course, Oda just gave us the clash of the year. He gave us Kaido and Big Mom going club to Napoleon, bang, and that's it. I don't think 952 is going to show us Kaido or Big Mom at all. In fact, I don't think we'll see Kaido and Big Mom for probably the rest of the month. That's just what I think, but it's entirely possible we'll continue this. It's entirely possible. Oda could do it two ways. He'll either continue it where they're still clashing, but then they like calm down because they talk to each other as they clash, and they come to some sort of compromise or agreement for now. That is entirely possible. We could get that 952. Or Oda is going to cut away, and we're not going to see the results of this clash for quite a few months. There's really no in-between with that. So I'm curious to see where this is going to end up. A lot of people have been asking, like, wondering who's stronger, what would a clash between them be like. And now we finally saw at least the beginning of one. So hopefully we see a little bit more of a scuffle between them. That would be really cool. That being said, this has been, that's the end of the chapter and end of the review, guys. What did you think? This has been Griever with your Behind the Bar reviews for Chapter 951 of One Piece. Like, subscribe, comment as always. It's always very much appreciated. And as always, drink responsibly. See you back here next time. Peace.